Hello and welcome back to the Cannon Sports Show. Today we are going to be discussing Arizona State's Week 2 loss to Oklahoma State. So, starting off this podcast, I just want to say, it's a disappointing outcome, especially considering that we were, up 15-10 going into the first half, or going into the second half, sorry. And for the second game in a row, we just have looked considerably worse in the second half, especially on the offensive end. I'm going to get to both sides of the ball, both offensive, defensive, even somewhat special teams. But I just want to say, despite the loss, there's a lot of stuff for ASU to take away from this game. We learned a lot about this team, and I think it's going to be beneficial. And this gave us something to build off of, in a way. We had good moments, but there's a lot that we need to improve on. And I know that the team is going to push to improve. But at the end of the day, Oklahoma State looked more composed and were able to stay the course and win. But anyway, we're going to move on. I want to start with the defense. I want to give a lot of props to the defense. The defense, for the most part, was actually ridiculously good this game. It gives me a lot of hope. If our defense can play like this for the rest of the season, we are going to be put in a lot of good situations. We got a lot of pressure on the quarterback today, which is something I said that we needed to do in order to win. So it was nice to see, getting some good pressure, as well as seeing some blitz packages to get even more pressure at times. And then we had a few lapses in coverage. The run defense was a lot worse in the second half, but not horrible. But other than that, the defense looked really good, and they were always put in bad positions. The field position that Oklahoma State always had was really bad for us. So I felt like the defense did well. There's definitely a lack of depth on the defensive line. It could pose a problem this season, but if they can hold teams to under 30 points a game like they've been doing, we're going to be in good situations all year long, and we're going to have a lot of chances to win games. But again, the defense, they did their job this game. They gave us a lot of chances to win. This game is not on the defense whatsoever. The defense did their part. We needed the offense to perform, and they just couldn't. The offense, they looked really solid in the first half. We had some really good runs. Rashada hit Badger for a big touchdown, but then second half, we just looked flat. We couldn't drive the ball downfield to save our lives. We couldn't find Badger, couldn't find Conyers. We struggled to run the ball a bit. It was just sad to see. The O-line looked awful in the second half as well. They weren't blocking as well in terms of run game, and they weren't pass blocking either. There wasn't as many penalties, which was nice to see. But again, if you're not going to block, it doesn't matter if you get a holding penalty or not, because you're not fucking blocking. Connors and Badger, when they got the ball, they were able to make really good plays for the most part, and they helped the offense move downfield, but we couldn't find them in the second half as much. And then the run game just considerably slowed down in the second half due to our O-line just not really blocking as well, but also due to Oklahoma State's defensive line stepping up. They were clearly deep in the defensive line position, and they were able to make a lot of things happen. Rashada had his moments. He played really well in the first half, but once again he tapered off in the second half. He looked more and more like a freshman quarterback as the game went on. I thought that he missed some throws, but he was only getting 2 seconds to throw the ball half the time because of our offensive line. So it isn't all his fault, but he should have made some throws. I think that when Drew Pine comes back, they're going to consider maybe moving him into the starting role, just due to him being more comfortable in college game day environments. It's just he's a more experienced guy. He played for Notre Dame. I wouldn't hate Rashada staying as the quarterback, but I think it might be beneficial for him to stay back a bit. Maybe come in if we're blowing out teams and stuff. But I think it'd be good for him, to stay on the sidelines for a bit. That's where you see a lot of good quarterbacks. Look at Joe Burrow. He did that at Ohio State. And then eventually, I think he maybe had a year or two with LSU where he did that. I still like Rashad a lot, and he's going to improve with more playtime. I'm not saying he's bad and he deserves to not be the starter. He did well, but he just looks like a freshman quarterback. But again, we don't have bowl games this year as well, so the team may just say, fuck it, we're going to just play him, get him that game time that's necessary, and then move on from there. The worst part about our offense was we were unable to convert so many third and short and fourth and short plays. Just time after time, we could not convert a single one in the second half, and that killed any chance that we had to win the game. Like, there were so many moments where we're down 2 points and we just cannot get a goddamn conversion to save our lives. And then we're giving them better field position. And, like, it's just unfortunate. And then, again, I'm going to talk about the special teams really quickly here. Like, we can't get a goddamn punt to go past their 30-yard line half the time. Like, that's bad. And that's why Oklahoma State was so comfortable. They were always in good position. I don't know. Like, there's a lot of things we need to do better. But that was a big killer in our offense, was just not converting those short plays. And as much as I'm talking about ASU's own players, Oklahoma State's defense was great in the second half. They got a lot of pressure, and with their deep 3 safety coverage looks, we looked lost out there on offense. They really covered the field well, and we just couldn't find those holes. I would have liked to see maybe more button hooks, like just little hook plays, because again, they left little like gaps here and there that you just have to find, and I don't know. I just don't know if we just didn't adjust or what, but I don't know. I have faith in the offense, but we need to keep our best players involved the entire game, and we need the offensive line to play better. Like, they just need to play better. Fresno State is going to be a good test for us. They're a really solid team. They're 2-0 so far to start the year. Like, we should beat them on paper, but they can provide challenges. And we're going to need to have a complete offensive game, I think, to, build momentum. And we just need to play well from the first minute to the last minute. Anyway, moving on to some bright spots in this game. Some of our best players. BJ Green, once again, phenomenal. 3 tackles, all for loss, and then 2 sacks as well. He was phenomenal. Like, BJ Green, he's been probably our best defensive player this season. Shamari Simmons, 10 total tackles, 6 solo, half tackle for loss. He was all over the place today. He made a lot of really good tackles that ultimately saved a lot. I think he may have made a few coverage mistakes at times, but that's not the end of the world, if I'm being honest. Like, he made so many good plays that if he did make a mistake or two, like, it was overshadowed by all his good things that he did. And then Demetrius Ford, once again, just had a really good game, good coverage all around, made some really good tackles. And then, like, even when he wasn't making tackles, he was in good positions where he would alter the running path of the running back or wide receiver, and someone else would make a tackle. Tate Rodney as well, by the way. Really good game from him. And, I mean, there's so many guys that did well. Clark did well. Brown did well. I was very happy with how our defense played. Offensively, Elijah Badger, once again, like, he only had 3 catches for 80 yards, 1 touchdown. But again, huge 65-yard touchdown pass. And then, like, he just doesn't go down. He just doesn't get tackled easily. And I don't know, he's going to be so good for us. And I really hope that they can get him more involved this season, because so far I feel like he's just been underused a bit. And then Cameron Scotabo, he had a good game. I mean, 4.4 per carry. He got us a lot of good first downs. At times, he definitely struggled to get those, like, really short ones, but we wouldn't have had as many third down conversions without him. So, and again, 14 carries, 60 yards, 1 touchdown. He looked really good in that Wildcat formation as well, or as ASU fans call it, Sparky formation. And yeah, I was happy with how he played. But anyway, overall, the team underperformed, but this team is going to get better. And at the end of the day, I know that Dillingham is not going to take the loss lightly. He's going to push this team to be better. I can almost guarantee that man is watching film right now. Like, I know that he is competitive. I know that he is hungry for this. He's not going to take this loss easily. I know he's not going to be happy with how we played. I need to go on Twitter and check. I've had it, like, muted because I kind of started the game a bit late and I don't want any spoilers, so I need to go on Twitter and see what some of the players and the coaches have been saying. But hopefully next week we can get a good win, show how good we can be, and just find a game that we can build off of more. Because these first 2 games have just been underwhelming, but again, new game next week, new challenge. Get to it. So that's really all I gotta talk about. I don't really think there's much more to talk about. I need to go to bed. Like, by the time I get this thing out, it's gonna be, I don't even know what time it'll be when I get this thing out, but it's gonna be later, and I just need to get sleep. I gotta watch football in the morning, so. Anyway, Cardinals podcast tomorrow, NFL podcast Tuesday, most likely. It should be, unless something drastic happens. But, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast, and have a great night.